Gamers Assembly 2019 Winner Bracket Semifinal number 2. This is also gonna be just another exciting match. We have these 4 players that you can see that are all inside of each other. Right here. These 4 players are gonna be battling it out for the 2 remaining slots in the winner bracket final of this competition. We have Cocow, we have Tween, we have Kappa, and we have OmnipotZ. So we have 4 top tier players that have gotten this far into the tournament, that have taken the top 2 in all of their matches so far, since they have survived in the winner bracket throughout the entire tournament so far. All of them have been going at it for quite a long time already. The Gamers Assembly has started today at 1 PM. It is 7 PM now, so all these players have already played a bunch of matches and should be a little bit exhausted by now. But now it is the time to show what they got and to secure themselves a spot in the winner bracket final. As per usual, we have a point limit of 100 with finalist mode, 5 rounds per map, and a point repartition of 10, 6, 4, and 3. And the first map that will be played today in this match is going to be Pork Tent by Thompson. And it is going to be really hard to tell who's going to move on here. Of course, the Team Sampi players are being handled as favorites, since they have been undefeated in online, in offline competitions in TrackMania so far. So Kappa and Tween might have a little bit of the upper hand, opposed to OmnipotZ and Cocow, but they can definitely do some damage as well. Let's see how it's going to go here. 2 Team Sampis versus 1 Oplon and 1 clanless, teamless, organizationless player, which is OmnipotZ. Here we go through the first round. So here we have a world record of 53.71, which is held by Kappa himself. So let's maybe put our spotlight onto the Czech player, the 2018 world champion. Right now, all of them are really, really close to each other. All of them picking very similar lines, getting very similar speed out of the corners. Tween going out a little wider on the platform, finding himself 800s behind the leader right now. Cocow a little bit tight with less speed, dropping down to 4th place now. Kappa in the lead and OmnipotZ on 2nd. This corner going to be decisive, and it is Kappa that actually misjudged the corner. I don't think he hit the wall, but Tween did. Kappa now actually up to 2nd place, but Kappa just, corrected his line a bit too much there. OmnipotZ, will he have enough speed to pass the jump? Yes, he will, and he wins the round with a 54.43, which is an okay time. Kappa on 2nd, Cocow on 3rd, and Tween on 4th. A top 4, a 0.4, sorry, a 0.4 is definitely not the fastest time. Usually, you're not going to be able to win with a 0.4, especially when you face these amazing players. So let's see how round number 2 is going to look like. OmnipotZ got the 10 points here. Kappa 6, Cocow with 4, and Tween with 3. Oh, Kappa going out super wide, almost touching the wall. Could barely fit any piece of paper there between car and the wall. Very risky stuff by Kappa, but he managed to stay on the track. Tween going very, very tight. Not the greatest speed outcome there for Tween. So he's gonna lose his position to his teammate. Let's take a look at Cocow, who is not too far behind. OmnipotZ can also have a saying, maybe if he nails the ending perfectly. Goes out very wide for a lot of speed here. Cocow almost touching on the right side. OmnipotZ really risking it for the biscuit now. He can maybe hope for a little mistake, but he makes a mistake himself. Let's switch to Cocow, who can maybe make something happen at the ending, but he's not actually finishing at all. Tween also not able to reach the finish line. It is Cocow and Tween both pulling off the lawnmower strat here at the ending. Both unable to jump through the hole properly into the finish line. Kappa winning with a 0.2 and OmnipotZ taking 2nd with a 56 time. This match is not warmed up yet. The players are still making mistakes. They're still finding themselves into the match. And as I say that, actually OmnipotZ touching one of the first available walls. Let's take a look at Tween. Right now, he is on last place on the scoreboard with only 6 points after the 2 rounds. That's definitely not the Tween we used to know. Cocow in the lead, off to a good start. Kappa down to 3rd. Cocow now opting for the inside line, similar to Tween. Kappa, I believe, went a little bit wider. This time he wasn't really able to capitalize on that wider line. This line, however, was pretty good, and this is neck and neck. Only 100th between the three players right here. OmnipotZ is too far away to make anything happen. Tween attacking this corner very, very tightly. Gets a lot of speed out of this one. Drifting into the right one now here. Avoid the pillars. Tween going out very wide here. Not the greatest setup here for Tween. Is he going to make it here? Yes, he will. And a great, great round right here for Tween, who gets a point 13, and Kappa with a point 21. Cocow lost a little bit of pace at the end, and OmnipotZ, after that mistake in the beginning, unable to come back from that. So the P guys are taking P1 and P2 in this round. Round number 4. Kappa is leading with 22. OmnipotZ still sitting there with 19 points on second place after that 4th place. Still doing pretty good here though. Tween with 16 and Cocow with 12. And I believe it was Tween that already got a very wonky start. So Tween is already out of it. Cocow, the only one that actually goes for a slightly different approach right there on the platform. He goes all the way to the left instead of squeezing himself into that little gap down to the checkpoint. So a little bit of a safer measure right there for Cocow. Kappa, however, is on another level in this run. He is more than 0.2 ahead right now, almost 0.3 at the previously passed checkpoint. So Kappa definitely on a very, very good time right here. Cocow and OmnipotZ nowhere close to making anything happen. Cocow went a bit tighter than OmnipotZ, but I think he will still maintain that second place unless he messes up the jump at the... Ooh. OmnipotZ hits his forehead on the finish arc, but he is able to finish on 3rd place. Kappa with a 0.0, that is a very good time. Last round on Poitiers, here we go, and it is Tween once again with an early mistake. Tween not really able to show what he's really capable of doing really in this match. Has made a lot of mistakes already, only on 19 points right now, so maybe not the favorite map for Tween, we don't know. But this is definitely a performance that we are not used to seeing from Tween. First place right now, the battle here between Kappa and OmnipotZ. Different lines here on the platform once again. Kappa always going a little bit wider, but not really able to capitalize. But that was a really tight line by Kappa. Up to 1st place he goes. Cocow and OmnipotZ just very close by here as well. OmnipotZ with a really nice entry onto the blue part. Goes very tight around the corner. Very, very low grip loss right there. So he is going to be battling it out here with Cocow, who are going for some slightly different lines. OmnipotZ with more speed. Cocow has pretty low speed, so he might be all going for the mid-air overtake. And he does so. Kappa with a 0.18. Then there's OmnipotZ a 10th behind and 400ths ahead of Cocow. So that was a good race right there. Coming to the end of Poitiers, Kappa leaving it with 42 points accumulated, OmnipotZ with 29, and then a tie for 3rd between Tween and Cocow, both sitting there with 22 points. But yeah, then again, map 2 can always make a difference. And it's not like anything's lost, really. The gap between 2nd and 4th is only 7 points, and Kappa isn't, like, out of this world yet. But if he continues to do what he did on map 1, then I think Kappa is going to have an easy going at securing himself a spot in the winner bracket final of this competition, with a prize pool of 2,200 euro that are being played out in Poitiers, France. Right now. So the next track here is going to be Rebellion by Kaisla. World record also by Kappa here with a 55.66. So Kappa, at least by the looks of my statistics that I have available here, he holds the world record on every single track in the Gamers Assembly map pack. So all 5 world records belong to Kappa. So he's fast, he's prepared. And here we go, entering the second map of this match. Everyone off to a good start. Tween with a slightly wonky line. Tween once again losing out on a little bit of time here, already in the very, very early beginning of the track. And also here goes out very wide. I think that was a small release right there required for Tween. So right now he's only finding himself on 4th place. Not really able to catch up to the others here, who are really doing a tremendous job at keeping the pace up high. Kappa shooting himself up to 1st place after a really good sector beforehand. OmnipotZ going a bit too wide right there. Gets overtaken by his countryman Cocow. This is neck and neck here for that 2nd place, while Kappa is slowly but surely extending his lead. And that was a beautifully executed hairpin right there by Sampi Kappa, who is most likely going to take 1st place here. OmnipotZ now with a re-overtake on Cocow. And now both doing the same mistake, actually. And it will be Tween that actually benefits from both making the same mistake at the exit of that right-hander. So it will be Tween actually going up to 2nd place. Very, very lucky for Tween. And he gets 6 points that he shouldn't have gotten with that time. Round number 2. So both of the players that were really close to each other before the end, they of course see each other. You gotta keep in mind that cars are forced on in this competition. So everyone sees each other. And yeah, in clutch situations like that, at the end, everyone's just trying to get that extra tiny centimeter wider to get a little bit more speed for the finish jump. And yeah, that didn't really work out for both of them. OmnipotZ actually incredibly far behind. I sadly missed out on that mistake. I'm not sure if he's actually going to be able to finish with the finish time of 10 seconds, I believe it is. So that's going to be pretty difficult. Now we have the fight between the two Sampis though. We have Kappa versus Tween coming towards the end of the track. Kappa with a really risky line right here, but it's only 300s right there coming up to the end of the track. Kappa having the upper hand, and he will actually win it here with a 56.038 and Tween with a 088. So only 500s separating the two teammates. Very good race up front. Kappa with the next 10-pointer, and he is escaping his opponents, quite literally. 62 points for him, and he's 1st. And then there's OmnipotZ on 2nd with 36 points. Absolute dominance by Kappa. Similar to what we've seen with Pack in his match. Kappa is basically doing the same thing. In an even more solid fashion, even. Round number 3. Cocow this time. Ooh, another mistake right there on the inside. Probably tried to risk it a bit to come closer after that wonky start. So Cocow with a big time loss, 1 second down. And also OmnipotZ currently unable to keep up with the pace of the Sampis. Tween in the lead. Tween hasn't really gotten a lot of 10-pointers, so this could be a very good chance for him. But Kappa is coming closer. Kappa doesn't want to give his teammate the 10 points. He doesn't want to give up on them, right? But I don't think there's anything that he can do here. Tween with a 56.048. Very, very nice time. Actually, exactly 100th faster than what Kappa did in the previous round. So Tween, slowly but surely, coming back into the match. And gets very important 10 points. Passes OmnipotZ as we speak. Now 4 points ahead of him. And it is the double lead for Team Sampi. 68 points for Kappa, 44 for Tween, 40 for OmnipotZ, and 32 for for Cocow, sorry. Great start for OmnipotZ this time. Cocow once again having to adjust his line just a tiny little bit, like a small release. But yeah, it does add up. You can clearly see that it is a very momentum-based track and a momentum-based game, of course, as well. So very, very important to keep the speed intact. OmnipotZ now attacking Tween here in this left-hander. Goes out very wide here as well. He is in the Sampi sandwich right now. A very nice approach by OmnipotZ right there. But the Sampi players just got that little bit of an extra upper hand right there in that corner. Got a little bit of extra kilometers an hour faster out of that exit. And it will be Kappa that is going to clock in another great time right here. And another 058. Kappa toggled the bot, I think. He drove the same time again. Insane. Tween on second, OmnipotZ on third, and Cocow multiple seconds behind. Alright, last round right here, round number 5. And it is looking pretty good for Team Sampi right here. OmnipotZ having made a little mistake right here. And also Kappa. What is that line by Kappa? He's really trying to save himself from misery right there. That was a really weird approach by Kappa. But he was able to save himself, which is a skill in itself. Many other people wouldn't be able to save a bad line like that. But Tween is in the lead. And he's a whole 10th ahead of Kappa right now. Kappa now coming a little bit closer. And we have no other player in sight. So it's going to be determined here at the ending once again. Tween with a very risky exit, but Kappa has more speed. And Tween is actually not hitting the finish immediately. And he had to, he clipped the edge of the finish block. So that will be a very unfortunate thrown away chance for Tween, because he had the 10 points almost in the pocket. Instead it will be Kappa that gets the next 10 points, and he's now 32 points ahead of second. "32 points of a time or of a point difference against someone like Tween. You gotta let that sink in for a moment. Tween is sitting there with 56. He's not quite safe yet. He only has a 9-point advantage over OmnipotZ. And then there's Cocow, who is a little bit further behind as well. So top 2 isn't safe. But then there's Kappa, who, is doing extraordinarily well in this match. As expected. We're going on to Invictus, which is the map by MD Point. Here, the world record, as I said earlier, also held by Kappa, with a 55.091. Let's see if he's going to be able to come close to these times and reach finalist mode, because it is very, very likely to happen here. He only needs 12 more points to reach the finalist status, which means that he wins, or he needs to win one more round in order to secure his position. Round number 1. Here we go. It is Kappa versus the world right here. And someone as experienced as him is for sure gonna withstand the pressure that is gonna be put against him. Cocow has already made an early mistake here. You all saw it live on camera. So the two Sampis and OmnipotZ are left. OmnipotZ not with the greatest start right here. Goes a little wider here on the platform, so he comes back closer to Kappa, but it's not quite enough to go for the overtake yet. Instead it is Tween that has actually accumulated a pretty good gap so far over his teammate. And also this turn was beautifully executed by Tween. Gets a lot of exit speed and gets away from his opponent drivers again. Dropping down onto the platform. Tween with a great inside line. Kappa versus OmnipotZ. This is neck and neck, and we come closer to the last turn now. Kappa having the slight upper hand, but this is going to be a very wonky jump for him. And OmnipotZ, since he jumped a little bit of a tighter line, jumped a shorter distance, he was able to overtake Kappa midair, who jumped super far right to the finish. So Tween with a good time of 55.49. Also OmnipotZ and Kappa putting good effort into this round. Round number 2. Cocow with a small release right there. Maybe he was afraid of touching the wall again at the same spot, just like it happened in round number 1. Oi, and that's a mistake by Kappa, and he flips, but he continues. He actually continues. Now the question is, will he be able to reach the finish line in time and secure himself at least 3 valuable points? But that is a mistake that we didn't really see very often. Kappa has barely made any of these big mistakes. That's the first one. So Kappa is human after all. And also Tween with a terrible slide. Not sure if that was a gear down or something, but also he barely able to save himself from misery. OmnipotZ on first place, and a 10-pointer would be very important for him, because that would actually put him a lot closer to Tween in the total standing. OmnipotZ with pretty low speed, but he manages to land here with a 55.9. He's winning the round. Cocow taking second with a 99, and then there's Tween. And Kappa barely able to reach the finish line. That was pretty lucky. That was not a lot of time left, but Kappa clocks in 3 points. So what Kappa needs is a placement either P1 or P2 in this round, and he will be a finalist. Third or fourth place will not be sufficient at this point. OmnipotZ, small wall touch right there. Already gonna eliminate him out of this round. Kappa and Tween leading over Cocow so far. Cocow, however, with great effort. Actually, very good turn right there by Cocow. Coming closer to both Sampi players. So this round is definitely not decided yet. Especially here, Cocow now jumping a little bit further to the inside. Opts for the left pillar, which is not going to matter too much. So this is actually neck and neck between Cocow and Tween. It will be decided in the ending once again. I think Kappa is pretty safe right there on position number 1. And he will move up to finalist mode. Also, Cocow not able to come any closer to Tween mid-air at the end. So Kappa will take 10 points and he will be finalist in the next round. Tween still super far behind, 76 points. So Kappa has many match point attempts right here. But I'm pretty sure he wants to close it out in his first attempt. Round number 4 actually, out of 5 on Invictus. All eyes on Kappa, our first finalist. He is off to a good start, but everyone else is off to a good start as well. Very close right here, but Kappa is having the slight upper hand right here, going through this checkpoint, dropping down into the left-hander. Now, this turn is going to be important. Kappa gets it incredibly well. Actually, insane exit speed right there by Kappa. Only Tween able to really keep up with that. OmnipotZ and Cocow both died already, so it will be between the two Sampis. Tween is the only one that can deny his teammate the victory in this matchup right now. But Kappa with amazing exit speed out of this one as well. There's no way he's going to lose it unless he messes up the jump through the finish block here. Kappa jumping super far right, and he makes it, and he finishes this match in his first finalist attempt. Absolutely outstanding performance by Kappa. Out of this world. That looked incredibly convincing. Kappa, no fucks given. He just drove. And he did it. So Kappa is through, while we have Tween sitting there at 82 points. Still pretty far away from smelling the finalist air. OmnipotZ holding himself strong in front of Tween right now. While we have Cocow probably, low-key giving up already, since he's down to 55 points. That is going to be requiring 3.5 miracles to come back from. But this is actually a very close fight here. Tween now jumping the shorter distance after the freewheel, and that will give him a very good advantage over his direct opponent, OmnipotZ, who is not going to be able to make anything happen unless Tween dies at the finish jump, which is not going to happen. 55-59, Tween with the next 10-pointer, 92 points for him. We have the map switch, and this is most likely going to be the last one. We are going to go on to Tranquilo by Wouter, the map with the ending. You all know what I'm talking about. The map with the ending. So, Tween needs 1 first place, and he's going to be finalist. OmnipotZ and Cocow need to do a lot more than that. Not saying that Tween is safe, but it is very likely that he's going to take it home. Most important thing for him is that he doesn't die at the end. Because there is a high chance that people, maybe people that are in front of him until the end are gonna make a mistake at the end. And then that's something that he can capitalize from. But I'm pretty sure Tween is experienced and intelligent enough to know that. And to acknowledge that possible scenario. Tween decides to give up the warm-up. Cocow and OmnipotZ are gonna drive. So this is the ending here with a set of transitions and jumps that are all waiting to kill you, basically. So here we go. The last leg of this match ongoing. Here we go. Tween, OmnipotZ, and Cocow. First couple of corners, nothing too exciting. Cocow actually with a very, very aggressive inside line right there. Not the greatest exit speed for him though, so he is going to get snacked by Tween and also by OmnipotZ in the drop down here. Tween is on first, and as I said, he needs the first place in order to become a finalist. If he doesn't get first, he needs just another round to get to that desired finalist mode. But right now, it is looking pretty good. However, the round is incredibly close. It is too close to be called right now. OmnipotZ is still lurking in the shadows together with Cocow. They are waiting for Tween to make a mistake, and there it is. There's a mistake for Tween. He at least didn't clip in a way that he threw himself up on the roof or something. But yeah, that is just going to be 4 points for Tween. OmnipotZ on first, followed by Cocow. OmnipotZ with pretty low speed, but I think it's still going to be enough, right? Are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? Tween is in. Tween is in. Tween is in. OmnipotZ died at the end, Cocow died at the end, and Tween saw that right in front of his eyes because he did that mistake and he was behind. He saw both of his opponents literally die in front of his eyes. Tween is finalist. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So the first finalist attempt for Tween. Cocow, I saw that one coming. Cocow out. It is 1v1 between Tween and OmnipotZ right now. Tween having the upper hand right here gets a little bit more exit speed out of this one. OmnipotZ has nothing to lose. He needs to push it now. He needs to go all in. He goes a little bit wider. Gets a bit more speed. Tween, however, still an entire 10th ahead, and this section was also very, very well executed by the Slovakian player. Tween looking to qualify himself for the winner bracket final of the Gamers Assembly 2019, together with his teammate Kappa. We're coming to the end now. This one's going to be decisive. OmnipotZ is actually coming a little bit closer. Tween with a really risky line, but OmnipotZ does so as well. The last jump is going to be decisive, but Tween makes it here in a solid fashion, and he will also clock in his first finalist attempt right here with a 57.028. OmnipotZ and Cocow down to the loser bracket. GG.